Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55. It's the Tier 9 American SPG, and we're located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka. And the name of the commander is Lomian EU. Now, the M55, M53, well, this is the M55, I can tell you. That's the 8-inch howitzer. And they're only mounted on the M55, which is used by the US Army. And we're counting down to the battle start, and we're away. Now he's headed west of the map, and actually this is quite a good idea, because I find that the west side of the map actually better for not only firing at enemies coming down the west side, but also firing on enemies who happen to be on the hill. Because you actually hit them side on, and that means you can give them a real good paddling. Okay, he's got his firing position, and he's gone to the aim. Okay, it's T-34. It's a Tier 8 premium, but he's lost sight of it. They got some good initial spots from the scouts, the M41 Bulldog and the STG, but okay, he's going for a Conqueror. He's marked his target, rounds out. Oh, he got a hit! A big hit! And in fact, actually, the other Arty on the team, the T92 HMC, also hit him directly afterwards. So he picked up 604 hit points of stun assist. This is a Tier 10 game. It's on the 357, and we've got a T110E4 now, marked out as target. And we are completing the reload. Now the reload's about 30 seconds. Can't tell you precisely because the mods don't work on this version. And that one landed right next door to him. I must have done some damage. Now he's changing position. As you can see, this is an old version of the game from October 2017. So it does look rather different to version 1.0, and there are less bushes. Now we've got a CDC and an IS-7. The CDC is a Tier 8. Oh, well, he's dead. And the IS-7 is a Tier 10 Soviet. Round out. Oh, well, it went long and landed on the left side of the vehicle, but it still did 271 hit points of damage. Now you can see, as I was mentioning earlier, that you're hitting the tanks on their side, which is where they got weak armor. So it really does make it preferable to be on the west side of the map to hit tanks that are on top of the hill. Of course, the tanks that you're facing on the west side of the map, though, you're going to be hitting them head on. But you're more than likely going to have quite a few teammates between you and the enemy, and that will make a difference because you want them to have difficulty trying to get at you. Now we've lost sight of that T110E4. Oh, we just lost our AMX CDA 105, the Canon Dassault. We're showing the team where he's aiming, but we don't have sight of a target yet. Now he's holding his fire until he can see a clean target. I'm not sure he's going to go for the Wizzy 132 because that's a very fast light tank, and it would be difficult for him to get an accurate shot. You've got to remember, the flight time for the shell is going to be at least 2 to 3 seconds, probably about 2 seconds at this range, and that means that the target's going to move some distance before the shell arrives. So you'd have to lead the target considerably. And that's not easy with an 8-inch howitzer. Okay, switch back to the hill, and you can see the IS-7 is using that wreck of the CDC as extra armour. He's up-armoured his IS-7, and we fired a round in, and oh! Well, that was a very near splash, 492 hit points, and the IS-7 was killed immediately afterwards by our STRVS-1, or Stridsvarnes-1. And now we've got a Scorpion G and a T-30. Oh my god, look at that Scorpion! Dives down the cliff there, going after this Lerva. I think it's a Lerva. No, it's not a Lerva. It's a... It might be a Tiger II. Not absolutely sure there. We're loaded. We've fired at the Scorpion. Oh, we got a kill. We destroyed the Scorpion. I don't know if he stunned his teammate in the process. Oh, it was a VK4502. That's why it looks similar to a Tiger II. That's why I was confused. Right, we've got a T-30 now. This is a dangerous tank destroyer. It was a Tier 10 tank destroyer, I believe. T-30. But it's actually Tier 9 now. It's basically an upgraded version of the T-29, or rather one of the original contestants for the competition to build an American heavy tank. Oh, and he's just fired his 155mm gun, and our 8-inch howitzer landed nearby and tracked him, and he was wiped out after he was tracked, so we get some damage assistance. Now we're doing a quick counter battery, even though we're getting a request for fire on the T-34. Okay, we switched targets to the T-34, and we've marked the target to tell our team that's what we're aiming at. That lets the teammate know who asked for fire that his request has been answered. Now we've lost sight of that T-34. There's the Wizzy 132 coming into view again. Somebody's saying kill the Wizzy. Yes, I can understand. He's actually lighting them up and allowing their Arty to do some damage to them. Right, we're going to go for the Centurion 1 up on the hill, round out, long lead, and well, massive damage, 456 hit points of damage. He is a medium tank, so he's got lighter armor than a heavy, and he hit him as he was on the move, or splashed him when he was on the move rather. That's a lot of damage, but we've gone back to where the T-34 was located. There he is. Okay, now we've got the target. Looks like Lomian's going to mark the target to let his teammates know. And rounds out. And a direct hit right into the rear. 483 hit points. Good strike. Now, he's moving position. Just changing a little to avoid counter battery. It's always wise just to do that to avoid getting hit by the enemy. Right, one of the teammates, his AMX-50B, is actually saying he's being focused by the enemy Arty, and he needed to know where that fire was coming from. Lomian's now going to aim for the enemy Arty and find out if he can get him, if he can notice the tracer. Now, sometimes the trick here is to switch off all visuals, to press the V key, and also sometimes it helps if you go to, instead of come out of battle assistant and go to look down view. There he is at the back. I don't know if Lomian saw him. He just fired. He's at the back, just behind that tall tree at the back of that row. I saw a tracer. Now, going to overhead view will give you the precise location of the enemy when they fire, but obviously it's going to be at least another 30 seconds before he fires again because he's reloading. The enemy Arty is an FV3805 and a T92 HMC. Now, they're probably not on the same side of the map. Only one of them over in here in this little dip, but this dip is a favoured site for a lot of Arty. Now, if you look for that tree at the very back, if he's not relocating, you'll see the tracer come from that tree at the back. We've got a teammate coming up there now. It's a Rebel Resay. Yes, there he is, behind the tree at the back. I was right. Rounds out. Long flight. Kill shot. 500 hit points. That's the T92 HMC. That will help the AMX, because I'm sure he was very, very upset that he was constantly focused by the enemy Arty. But there's a Panther 88 making his way to a defensive position on the west side of the battlefield. I think he's going to try and attack the Rebel Resay as he comes over. And now we've got a Scorpion. No, it's not a Scorpion, it's a Conqueror. Sorry. What am I thinking? Round out. And a direct hit, 265 hit points. Now, there are very few very few teammates between Lomian and the enemy, so he's going to have to relocate, and I think he's going to go right over to the railway line now. And that's a good reason for doing that. He doesn't want to get caught out by that Conqueror if he is moving south. And we've lost sight of him temporarily. There he is. Yes, he was moving south. In fact, actually, he might be in view range now. So we can expect the Sixth Sense maybe to go off very, very shortly. Now, the Conqueror has been wiped out by our Borsig, so that's good news. But there's our teammate in the T92 HMC. So he's going to pick a slightly different position. Not too close, because you don't want to have two Arties located together. Not only is it bad form, but two traces are much easier to see than one. And if the enemy were to fire a shell at one position where there were two Arty, he would easily get a bombardier and kill off two of you at once. So always park in different positions to other Arties. And if an Arty parks next to you, drive away. Round out on the lever. Direct hit. 356 hit points. And he took loads of damage afterwards. And he's gone. So, just the 2 kills so far, but there are only 3 enemy remaining. 2 tank destroyers and SPG. The SPG is the FB3805. And since we've been over the east side of the map, he must be on the west side of the map. So, somewhere around there is an Arty. There's the T110E4, and he's been wiped out. The STRV was seen somewhere in this location. There he is. We're dialing in. He's been hit. Rounds out. And it's a kill shot. Third kill of the game. Or was it second? No! We didn't get the kill. The T92 got there just before us. Would you believe that? There was 2 tracers going into the same spot at the same time. Both Arties fired. The T92 shell got there just a fraction of a second before ours. And there's the FB3805. He's been spotted. We're still loading. Will we beat the T92? I think so. But that T10's going in for the kill. Oh, we killed the enemy at the last moment, but we accidentally hit our T10, so we might have suffered some friendly fire damage there. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's an ace tanker for Lomian EU in the M53, M55. He also picked up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 16 in that one. A Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And lastly, and this is a nice one, he got the Counter Battery Fire medal. He took out both the T92 HMC and the FB3805 on the enemy team. So he killed both Arties. So I'm sure that AMX50B, who's complaining about being hit by Arty all battle, is satisfied that at least they got revenge on them in the end. Actually, I think they were right about the Wizzy 132. They should have tried to take out that Wizzy 132. I'm sure that he was the guy who was spotting for his Arty and enabling his Arty to actually do so much damage to the team. But let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he got the highest damage overall. He didn't pick up the high caliber, though. He only got 5,253 hit points of damage, which is more than the highest scorer on the enemy team, which is the T110E4. He managed 3,178. The VK4502 managed 2,637 before he was wiped out. And, of course, the T92 HMC on our side, 2,569 hit points. When it came to kills, it was actually the Revolurise who managed the highest number. He got 4, and the T110E4 on the enemy team also picked up 4. And then came Lomian with 3, and the CSTRV S1, he also got 3. When it came to base XP, it was Lomian who was right at the top, 1,191 base experience points. The next highest score was the Revolurise with 976, and the Striv with 945. So, let's have a look at detail. Well, he only fired 13 rounds during that battle. He got 8 direct hits, 8 penetration. That's a really good accuracy. 6 splash as well. Damage of 4,253 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. Yep, he did do damage to his teammates. 428 hit points in total. I think actually some of those are actually due to the shot that went on the VK4502 when he was wiping out the Scorpion, and then the rest was on the T10. So I think he hit 2 of his own teammates. Luckily, though, he didn't kill them. He did do a lot of splash damage. And that may be the reason why he didn't pick up the high caliber, because back then, if you did damage your team, you were disqualified from getting the high caliber. He damaged 11 of the enemy, which is more than 2/3 of the enemy team, and killed 3 of the enemy. That's 1/5 of the enemy team. He also did damage assistance of 285 hit points when he tracked some of the enemy and then they were killed, and 2,093 hit points of stun assist of 10 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 61,913 credits, and after the fine for damaging his own teammates, 6,914, the resupply of ammunition, and this is 8-inch shells, and they are expensive, at least 2,000 credits around, or near enough 2,000 credits around, and also consumables, because he used Coca-Cola to boost his performance. He actually ended up with only 10,689 credits left over. But he did pick up 1,787 XP, minus 3 XP because he did damage his teammates, meant he took away 1,784 experience points in that game. But a pretty good round, and it's nice to see an ace tanker, Gore's, Confederate and Counter Battery. And this was, as I said, a match from October 2017, so it's pre-1.0 release. And I'm sure that Lomi would be very pleased to see this replay again, because he did perform very well, and it was good to see some of those shots. Pity that the T92 did that kill steal right at the end, but I suspect that that actually did, in a sense, well, it took away one of his kills, the STRV. If he had actually got that kill, it would have been 11 and 4, which would still be 7 as a difference. Now the difference here is to check what would the T92 have had. Oh, 7 and 1. So he definitely would have kept his Confederate even if he got that last kill. So it would have been nice if he got that last kill, but he didn't, or rather the STRV, but he didn't get it. He instead, actually, all he picked up was damage of 519 hit points from that one. So maybe it was his shell who hit the STRV first, and then the T92 followed up and took the kill immediately afterwards. I think that might be the way it went round. But if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.